Hello guys, my name is Salman and I hope you are all fine and good. So in this video I am discussing about the concept of static class in C Sharp. What is static class and why we will use this? What are the difference between static and non-static class? So I will demonstrate using with an example or practical work. So static class is a class which we can not create instant of this class, and this will hold a static method, and we cannot create instance, and we can inheritance apply inheritance in static class. We cannot apply any inheritance in a static class. So I will demonstrate using an example. I will create a class static class example. This is a normal class, and static class has been declared by using a keyword static. So this is a static class. Now the first feature of static class is that we cannot create an instant or object of a static class. I will create a trying to create a static class example instance. So this will not allow me to create an instant of static class. Cannot create an instance of static class console f3 program.static class example. So static class, we cannot create an instance of this class. The second feature is that we cannot inheritance apply an inheritance in a static class. Means if I apply here program, then we cannot use inheritance in static class. That is, we cannot apply inheritance in a static class. Static class cannot derive from the type of static class, must derive from object. There is only one class that can be inherited, that is an object class, because object is a parent class of all the classes in .NET framework, and static class only has been extended automatically from an object class. So this is a second main feature of static class. And we also not extend any non-static class with static class. This will not allow me. Cannot derive from a static class. So this is the second main feature of static class. Now the third feature of this class is that static class have a static constructor, which means that static class have a static constructor. We can use this, the syntax of this static. So this is the constructor of static class. So the static class have a constructor, that is static constructor. So constructor, why this have a constructor? Because constructor is used for creating an object, and whenever we create an object, constructor is called. So this have a constructor, then why? Because we cannot create an object of this class, then why this static class have a constructor? So this constructor has been the main feature of initializing and static field in a static class. For example, I create a brick static int I, and this will initialize use for initializing any variable. This will use for initializing a static variable, static fields, public static string str, that is str is equal to this is a string. So this is the usage of static constructor. So static class have a static constructor which cannot have any arguments. We cannot use argument. This will not allow me. So this is a parameterless constructor. That is, static constructor must be parameterless. So this is the also the feature of static class. Now the second feature of static class is that, I think this clean solution. Now the second feature of static class is that static class will have only contain static method, static constructor and static field. Everything in the static class is static. So this is a second also a feature of static class. We cannot declare a non-static method here. Void static method. We cannot declare a static non-static method here. Static class must have all the static members, constructor and methods. We cannot declare any static non-static method in the static class. Static class will contain only static methods and static variables or static constructor. If I use this will be an error. Static method cannot declare instance member in a static class. This is an instance member which means non-static method, and we cannot use in static class. We only declare by using static keyword. So static class must contain a static method, static members. Static class cannot contain any non-static members, methods or constructor. If I use here int j, so this will throw me an error. Cannot declare instance member in a static class. We must declare a static. So this is also the feature of static class, that is static class must have all the static variables, static constructor and all the static methods. We cannot declare non-static method here, we cannot declare non-static fields here, we cannot declare non-static constructor here. So this is the also the main feature of static class. Now the third one is that now the next one is that static class, we cannot create an instance of static class example. So if we cannot create an instance of static class example, then how we will use this method? We will use this. We use this field or method by using a class name. This is a class name dot, that is I, a static variable, static method we declare, and str is a string. So we will use this and static example dot str is equal to str and static example dot static method. So this is a, we can use a member of static class by using a class name. We call this by using a class name. So this is the feature of a static class. And the next one is that when static class will be loaded in memory. So static is a lazy instantiation class, which means that it will be loaded when it require. When we need it, then it will load in our program. So I will use this demonstrate using an example dot read key. I will place a debugger here and also place a debugger here, also place a debugger here, and also place this. So static class is a lazy loading, which means it will load in a memory when it will require. when it will need to first access, then it will load into the memory, otherwise will not load it. So if I run this program, now you can see that breakpoint hit here. Now static class and this not, if I use this, then this constructor will called. So this means that static class is accessed first time, then this constructor is called. This will initialize the variable, and second time that this constructor will not called, because this constructor is called only first time. Its constructor is called only first time when we access first time static members. So now the next calling is that method. We call this method and the breakpoint is here. So this is the lazy loading of static class. Static class will only loaded into memory and call constructor when it access first time in our application. So this is the static class feature. And the next one is that, so this is the have a feature of static class. So this is the static class. I hope you will understand this, what is the static class in a C sharp and what are the differences between in them. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thanks.